Happy Transcendence Thursday, everybody. I want to talk today about harmony, about how to achieve harmony in your life, how to achieve harmony with your family, with your community, and especially, and most importantly, how to achieve harmony with people who think night and day from you, people who vehemently disagree with everything you stand for and everything you're about. And probably chances are you disagree with all of them too. So I want to talk about how to normalize disagreement and get harmony. Actually, that's how it is. If you normalize disagreement, if we can do that as a society, as a culture, and individually normalize the idea that disagreement is non-threatening, then we can get harmony from that. In this time right now, with the election fever and the who's going to win, who isn't going to win, dichotomies, and the media polarization, it is more important than ever to check with ourselves, check with our hearts, check with our bodies and say, do I want division? Do I want harmony? And when you ask that question and think about how your body feels about it, not your mind, not words, because we already know words are just symbolic and they're not the truth. Your body, on the other hand, cannot lie. And so when you check in with your body, I guarantee you, your body is going to tell you that it wants harmony. We are innately a species that desires harmony, and we want harmony to develop. We are not going ever to achieve harmony by continuing to look to politicians to save us. It doesn't make any difference who wins in terms of what happens in your daily life. If the Democrat is in office or if the Republican is in office, things are not going to change instantaneously or even that much remotely or slowly for you in your day-to-day. They might change broadly, sure, there'll be a different thing with taxes, yada yada, but really on a personal and fundamental level, it doesn't matter who wins. You're not going to get saved by that. No one's going to ride in on a white horse and change your life and change your circumstances and make your world better. That isn't how it works. That's on you. That's on me. That's up to us to do. And we aren't going to be able to do it if we continue to buy into the media polarization around these either-or paradigms. If you vote for Trump, you're a racist. Period. That's total BS. If you vote for Biden, you're a communist. Period. That's also total BS. And by believing in those vast generalizations, we are in a sense letting ourselves off the hook from having to be able to engage in civil discourse, complex, complicated, messy civil discourse with people who we do not agree with, people who think differently than us. They don't think differently than us just to piss us off. They don't think differently than us just to make us angry. They think differently than us because whatever they're thinking about, whatever their point of view is, it makes total sense to them. And if we want to achieve harmony in the world, there's a few aspects to that. One is we have to make room for points of view that are different. I'm not saying to make room for racism or make room for communism or make room for hate. I'm saying that that is media polarization that is designed by corporate interests and government interests to keep us divided and separate. And there is much more nuance to the actual truth of people's points of view and how people think and how people view the world. And if we just continue to trust the media and allow the media to divide us along these arbitrary and ridiculous party lines, then we are not going to be able to come together as a species, come together as a citizenry, come together in our homes, communities, and families to bring harmony to life in our actual world, in our actual immediate and personal circumstances. Civil discourse is key, and you can't have civil discourse when we have normalized generalizing, and when we've normalized stereotyping, and when we've normalized hate, and we've normalized surface thinking and soundbite thinking. And instead of those things, it's time to normalize civil discourse and complex thinking and deliberate engagement with people who think differently than you. If you are of the mind that when your candidate wins, everything changes for you, then you're not living in a grounded reality. I mean, we've been alive long enough to know if you're voting in an election, then you've been alive for at least 18 years. And if you really think back over who won at each time, not a whole lot changes in your direct experience depending on who's in the White House. Yes, sir, little things may change. Healthcare may become available. Taxes may go up or down. But really, The government isn't coming to save you. The government isn't coming to help you. And the media isn't on your side. They are bought and paid for corporate interests. I'm not saying this to be political. I'm saying this because these are the actual facts of the matter. All of the media that we see is owned by 5 corporations. 5 for-profit companies own almost all of the media we see. Almost all of it. And so if you only get your information from those media sources, you are getting your information from bought and paid for media. I'm not saying that it's all false, but I'm certainly saying that it is not all true. And to live in a place of believing that my candidate has to win in order for things to get better, and if I even engage with you, then I'm losing ground, I'm not standing my ground, then you're living in a disempowered place. That is a disempowered state of being, and it is a disempowered understanding. The truth is, by engaging with people who disagree with us and having civil discourse with them, we take our power back, because that is the mode of operating that will allow us to understand that we are responsible for what happens in our world. We are responsible for our thoughts. We are responsible for what happens in our communities and in our families and in our daily lives. The politicians aren't responsible. It's not up to them. It's up to us. It's up to you. And if you remain divided and allow yourself to be divided and allow yourself to stand your ground and disagree, and it's not okay to disagree, then you're never going to have even the slightest chance of winning over one single heart and mind to your point of view. Hearts and minds are not won by demand. They are not won by marginalization. They are not won by hate, aggression, force, anger, or indignation, even righteous indignation. It just ain't going to do the trick. But what is going to do the trick is genuine, calm, curious engagement with people who think differently than us. If you think that you don't have anything to learn from someone with a different point of view, then you will never learn anything, okay? So I'm not saying that you have to completely change your stance on issues or topics, but what I am saying is, like, let's calm ourselves down. Let's take a step back from the bought and paid for media jargon that says either this or this, one or the other. And instead, let's talk to each other. Let's put harmony first as a goal, not victory, okay? Harmony needs to come first. When harmony is first, we all become victorious. So I want to say this because I want to say that we can't let ourselves off the hook from having to engage in complex discussions with the people who don't think like we do. When you make vast generalizations, and I do this too, but when we make vast generalizations about, someone who voted for Trump must think all of these other awful things, even though maybe they're voting simply on one nuanced understanding they have, and they haven't given the time to engage in all of these other issues. You're never going to get them to engage in those issues through aggression and anger. So there are ways that harmony can benefit the whole collective by expanding our awareness, expanding our consciousness, and expanding our ability to engage in civil discourse. When civil discourse dies, freedom dies right along with it, okay? Don't buy into the media jargon. Don't buy into the political propaganda. Instead, check in with your heart and say, what's more important to me? Victory or harmony? No matter who wins, no matter who won, no matter who is in the Oval Office leading us, if you don't put harmony first, then you won't experience harmony in your life. Harmony is what you want. Harmony is what we want. Harmony is what will cause everyone around us to begin to thrive, to begin to think more clearly, and to begin to pursue their goals and dreams with ambition and excitement. We can't do that when we're living our life in a disempowered state saying, my person lost, the world is over, or my person won, ha ha, you suck. None of that's ever going to do it. None of that is ever going to bring harmony, and in reality, none of that changes anything in your life and in your local community. But what does change it is if you change, is if you embody the change that you want to see in the world. And if you want a harmonious world, and I think no matter which candidate you're voting for, you probably want a harmonious world. So A harmonious world is built from the individual up, not from the political party down. They don't care about you, okay? And you don't need to care about them, but you do need to care about yourself, and you do need to care about your family, and please, please care about your local community and your state of being. Those are the things you have power over, okay? So let's take our power back, let's normalize disagreement, and get harmony. I love you, humanity. I trust you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.